Money soldier, I thought I told you. Only rockin' with the agent and the broker, yeah. Move over, we getting bolder. Making moves like the agent and the broker, yeah. Generational wealth, they bout that. Yeah, we took some L's, but we bounced back. Financial literacy, got that. Closing up the wealth gap, yeah, I'm black. Welcome to the Agent and Broker Podcast, hosted by Julian and James. And you know they bringing nothing but that black boss talk, man. Cause there's no currency stronger than the black dollar. And it's time we let the world know. But first we gotta grow though, and that's for sure. Money soldier.
Peace, family. What's going on?
James, what's going on, man? I am blessed. Highly favored. How you doing, brother?
Man, same here, brother. Just happy, excited to be here another week. Ready to get it. It was a great weekend. Got some things in order. Ready to attack this week.
100%.
Absolutely. How y'all doing tonight, family?
Hope everybody doing good. If you're listening, I hope good. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you're doing good. Happy Valentine's Day. And watch this with your sweetheart,
Definitely. Yeah, so happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Agent and Broker Podcast. I am your co-host, Julian, the agent, license W626089.
And my name is James here, license number W282336, all the way in Florida.
Florida, baby. FLA, Central Florida, Orlando, Eatonville. We repping all of them. So, yeah, guys, this week, we know it's Valentine's Day. People are going to be with their loved ones. And so it's an intimate moment. So we're going to get a little intimate here and keep it real with you guys, give you the background and the dark side of life insurance, everything that's not glitz and glamour. Everybody always shows the good of entrepreneurship, anything that you can make a lot of money in or things of that such. So we're going to bring you guys the real and show you what it's like to be in the life of an entrepreneur, insurance agent, a broker. And it's going to be like a conversational type of vibe today and everything. So I'm excited to get that started. But before we do any of that, we do have to update you guys on, last week what we did and bring you some history, because it is Black History Month. So before we do that, I'll let James talk to you all about last week, bring you up to date with a lot of things we got going on and what we did do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And just make sure you check us out, follow us, subscribe to the channel, link to us on every single platform we have. But anyway, last week we had a great event, and we actually went to an event we sponsored, and that event, after we set up a lot of people to our table, it just bring me to the realization that, man, this is real. Being faced with our community, it's just so real. I remember, like, we literally set up, and this young lady came up and said, "Oh, hey, how you guys doing? Listen, I want some life insurance." Straight up, it's like
it was that easy.
it's crazy, and we already set up an appointment to go see her. But just being involved in the community, man, and to see our folks, so interested on what we have on, and taking information, and some really just started following us like instantly. And it's such a great event, and we look to have more of these events. And so, I mean, if you're listening, you are here in Florida area, there's an event there that will be, you think will fit, and just reach out to us and with the organizer, and then see if we can bring more value to our community. But man, this event amazing, Julian. I had some time and I saw you when it's actually presenting us to the crowd. It's like, man, look at this guy right here, man, and everybody was so in tune in what you were saying. I mean, watching and listen attentively to what you were saying, and that's why I hope people come to a table after the end of the event. But tell me, man, what did you get out of this, man? How do you think the event went?
Yeah, just like you said, I think it was a good event, and it was a great experience. A great first time getting out there. Is real. It was surreal, man. Like, wow, it's kind of crazy because it's like coming from an idea, and then you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like you go from idea to actually putting it in action, and getting out there in front of the people. So you're actually talking in front of people and letting them know about what you do. And I always look back, how analyze like how it could have did better and things like that. But the most important thing was that we got that information out to the people, and people were actually open to talking about it. There's still a couple of people who are scared. Of course, you're gonna have those who don't really want to talk about this stuff because it is an uncomfortable conversation, and that's why
Hmm.
I have the company Living Uncomfortable. We want to make this comfortable. We live uncomfortable, so it is what it is. You might as well adapt to that and learn how to live in the uncomfort, so you can get that comfort pretty much.
Hmm.
So the event was amazing, man, and thank you to the Central Florida Urban League Young Professionals. Jasmine, who is a good friend of mine, invited us, and we sponsored the event. And, it was an amazing opportunity, bro. I
Oh yeah.
appreciate all of that. I always appreciate doing that. And we also, I'm actually going to be in Eatonville this week, so it's another event. I'm gonna, I'll be there, not fully set up, but I'll just be there, kind of spreading the word and things at the library. So
Mm,
if you guys are in Eatonville this weekend, definitely should come out to that. I'll post more on my page. And yeah,
that's real,
man,
man.
that was my experience, bro. I loved it. It was great seeing the people interact, talk with people, other professionals, economists, to people who are thriving in their industries, and making good connections as well. And you
Hmm.
just never know where that event could take us and where we can go from there. So I'm
That's true.
excited.
We even got invited to this young lady I watched this show. She actually I forgot her name, man, but she's a host and one of the station, and came to us and really make connection with us. Say, you know what, I love what you guys are doing. I bring professionals to talk about finance, and I hope you guys, you guys come in and talk about what you do and with the economy, what's going on with finances, what do we have to teach the people. So that event alone really bring us some great connections last, and I can't wait for to be doing this at least once a week, man. At least.
Definitely. Hold on.
So
I'm getting some feedback like that. Is it the sound is jumping? So y'all
uh,
comment on the chat if the sound is jumping. Can y'all hear us?
yeah, I see a few people watching. Can hear us clear. Please comment and put a thumbs up. Say yes, I can hear you. You can make sure the audio is actually functioning properly. Um, but anyway, I I think you're good, Julian. I think you're good.
Because I can hear you jumping, but I can't hear myself jumping. Can
It's
you hear me?
crazy.
Is yours jumping when you hear me talking?
You're perfectly fine.
Okay. Um. All right. Well, we're gonna try to make it work then. So,
100%.
all right. So next is going into a little bit of Black history facts. James is jumping. I'm not. Okay, so James, you're jumping.
I'm jumping. Oh
Oh
man,
wow. What's going on?
I have no clue what's going on.
Uh-oh.
I have no
Uh-oh.
clue what's going on.
Uh-oh. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, so it's just you. I've got confirmation that it is just you. Um, let me see what I can do here. I'm gonna take them out real quick and bring them back in. What about now?
Test. Still jumping.
Yeah, you still jumping on my end.
Wow. Well, that's what happened when you go live. Okay, just be prepared for some mistake.
It's not
But
constant.
it's not a constant though. Okay, thank you, Natalie. I really appreciate it. Interesting,
Oh man,
interesting.
that is interesting.
Yeah, that's
That's
actually the
annoying,
first time.
but well, I guess let's get into this history then, and maybe it start working. Try play with your microphone cord or something in the back, maybe. But yeah. So guys, it is Black History Month, and what we want to do, since we are life insurance agents and brokers here, we want to honor those who came before us, and that is actually a company called North Carolina Mutual. I'm going to share this slide to show you guys some dope history that you probably didn't know, never heard about. You weren't taught about it. I wasn't taught about it. I came in, to understanding of it, and it kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things. But check this out. So this is North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company. Um, there are over 100 Black business districts around the United States. And I'm sure a lot of people, if not, you've probably heard of Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Greenwood district. However, guys, one of the biggest and wealthiest was in Durham, North Carolina. A lot of people don't know that. That's where the original Black Wall Street was actually founded. That's where it was started. That's where Tulsa got their blueprint from, was where the people in Durham. And the original Black Wall Street was on Paris Street in Durham, North Carolina, right in downtown, man. It's crazy because it looks nothing like that anymore. None of the people are there. It's kind of been colonized, not really gentrified, really colonized,
Hmm.
taken over. And like I said, Black Wall Street was in Tulsa and all over the country was inspired by this one district here where they had banks, barbershops, Black businesses thriving, hospitals, clinics, everything was circulating, schools. And this is where the first life insurance company, the first Black life insurance company, was started and founded. It's called North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance, which was founded in 1898 by John Merrick. It's the oldest and largest active Black owned life insurance company in the world. I mean, in America. So if you guys never heard of it, go check it out. It's really cool. We actually are working to get contracted with them so we could help serve our community, because back in post Civil War era, life insurance companies, like established life insurance companies, would never insure Black people. They wouldn't insure former slaves. They had us at high risk. They called it excessive risk. And there were actually three companies. The big three is what they call them: Prudential, John Hancock, and MetLife. Those three actually, they built their foundations on ignorant Black people, people who didn't know, Black people who didn't know. And then later, about like 30 to 50 years later, early like the 1920s and 30s, they implemented race-based underwriting policies inside of their underwriting guidelines inside their policies. So now people who were former slaves were graded as excessive, and they didn't want to insure them anymore after they made all their money off of them and built their foundation off of the Black community. And when other companies wouldn't, that had to stop at one moment, and other companies wouldn't come in and insure Black people. Mr. Merrick, who was an established business owner in that area, he owned about 5 barbershops. This dude, he was actually in a fraternal organization. And what they did was they taught life insurance. And what he did was he created this company, North Carolina Mutual Life Insurance Company. And now North Carolina Mutual, if we look at it today, it's still standing and thriving. It's currently ranked among the top 500 life insurers in the nation in terms of total premium income, and it is the largest Black managed insurance company in the United States. North Carolina Mutual is the largest mutual insurance company domiciled in the state of North Carolina and was founded during that Reconstruction. North Carolina Mutual has been guided by the principles of self-sufficiency, and today has assets of $210 million, a surplus of $26.2 million, in insurance force of $14.1 billion. The company operates in 24 states and the District of Columbia, and that's current. And this is a black-owned business, black founded, black-owned, and black ran, and the oldest actually. So we wanted to point this out today. It is Black History Month, so I wanted to kind of bring this to you guys, and you can actually go to our website, my website lvnu.info, and read this write-up that I put together on this company, on the founders, and the people in it. It's actually pretty interesting, guys. So we just wanted to kick that to you tonight, and before we got kicked off into the ins and outs of what we do. And James, are you good over there or what? Like,
I mean,
let me
I
see.
hope so. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's still a little choppy though.
Oh my God. Well, I hope it gets better as we go. And I'm still choppy as I'm talking, right?
Yeah,
Oh wow. Not going on my mic, man.
man, that's not good,
I just want
man.
to apologize for the viewers. Literally have no clue what's going on connection.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
either,
no clue.
guys. But yeah. So kind of to start today off, we're gonna be a little open with you guys and giving you the ins and outs, and how we could be better, how we could always do better, and how we can improve as agents, brokers, podcasters, and we always are open to feedback. So please feel free to always give us feedback, leave a rating review on Apple, Google, wherever, YouTube, comment, let them know you love the show. We'll really appreciate it, and share it with your friends and family. This is vital information, guys. We're excited to get it out. We're going to be consistent, not only for ourselves, but for you. And just to get this thing started, I hope James is ready. His mic is good. We gonna hope. If
Yeah,
not, we
that's what
still
I'm
gonna
hoping
keep it
for.
trucking.
We're still gonna keep it, and hopefully, I mean, like I said, we apologize to our viewers. If it's choppy, please, we apologize, but we're still gonna keep it moving. And
Yep. Yeah. So, to get into it, so James, man, I'm gonna ask you some yeah, real questions, bro. And I want you to ask me it back too. We're gonna have a real conversation. Um, so as an entrepreneur, every day, an entrepreneur, insurance broker, agent, whatever you want to call yourself, what are your daily routines? And yeah, so what are your daily routines? Let's start with that. What does
okay,
a day in James's life look like
a day in James' life. So this is what it looks like.
from start to end?
Um, from start to end. So
Yeah.
here, has everybody, you're like, hey man, I'm gonna do my best to actually, get consistent. So far, I've been pretty consistent. And what I'm going to say to you, I think I started doing it like 2 weeks within starting the year as my
Mm-hmm.
routine. So I would wake up the same time the kids wake up to go to school. So which is around like 6:30. My son is already up. So around 7:30, I'll go ahead for my jog. And I like jogging. I feel I feel somehow free.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love doing that in the morning. And I'll come back, take a shower, and I head to my office. Sometimes I do have appointment outside of my office, so I head to my appointment. But really is staying busy throughout the day. I got my coffee in my car, just be out. Either I go to a client house or they're meeting me in my office, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just that, just trying to keep the day can be unpredictable because you do have different client with different personalities. But ideally is to run appointment every day to make sure that I'm helping the community.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always, because you are an entrepreneur, it's not always perfect. You will have some time where you kind of like get hit some speed bumps and where you have to make some adjustment. But the whole idea
Sure.
of having this conversation with you today is you to understand that, hey, you probably hear all this motivation and all this stuff with other insurance companies and other insurance agents telling you all this but today we hear sharing with you what did they look like, and we're gonna get more in depth on there. But yeah, that's really my day, man. I'll go for my jog, take a shower, head to the office or head to my client for appointments, and much at the end of the day, I just set up the next day so I know exactly what I'm gonna be doing. So
Mm,
that's really it, really. But now, how about you, man?
mm, mm.
What do you have going on? What's your day look like when you wake up as an agent?
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So for me, I've been this year, honestly, I started kind of a little before the new year. Um, I've been trying to go to sleep. I'll go to sleep with a clear mind, so I don't wake up any. I used to wake up like groggy, feeling kind of weird. So I try to go to sleep on a clear mind, have a cup of tea. But when I wake up, I try to get up. I try my hardest not to touch the phone. It's hard because that's my alarm clock. If I have that, sometimes I wake up without it. But I get up, I sit for a little bit, kind of let myself gather my thoughts. Really, it's kind of like a okay. Let me get up. Let me meditate. I call it like a meditation session, real quick, and then I try to go brush my teeth, use the restroom, brush my teeth, and then come back. It's like a set routine, man. I come back, I get on the phone, I check my bank account right away. I'm checking my numbers, I'm checking my investments, and then that's like every day, every morning, I'm checking that.
You don't miss a beat.
Because like I don't even know. It's just like, man, I don't trust banks. So I want to see my money still in the accounts. So I'm looking at it every morning. And then from there, I get ready. I usually don't really eat. So I don't eat. I get some tea. I warm up the tea, water or tea in the tea kettle. And then I get that cup and then I get to work, man. And
Okay.
I just schedule if I have appointments, I schedule them in between how I work. I don't work a 9 to 5. I do I do online ads and online advertisement marketing and things during the day while I do insurance. So I schedule appointments in between that as well. So I try to make my phone calls in between when I'm not working on something over here. I'm scheduling my phone calls for insurance, but I'm also like working it in between while I'm doing that. So by the time I get done with this work, try to schedule appointments. Like James said, it can go however, it's unexpected. So I'll schedule my appointments after 5 o'clock. Boom. If I need to go there, we're gonna meet at the 5 or 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Even if it's gonna be 9 or 10 o'clock, I will meet. It doesn't matter. But by that time, I'm usually like slowing down. I try not to take appointments after 9 o'clock, man. I
Mhm.
used to be on that grind stuff, but now I've learned to, take care of my mind and my body more, protect my energy a bit more, and stop letting
Mhm.
work and the grind get influence over me to the point where that's all I'm doing because it started affecting other things. And as we get into these other questions, like you guys will understand and see what we mean when I say affecting other things. So with that being said, um, what like today alone, like what did you fail at today? What did you fail at doing today, James? And how you think you can get better from your failures today?
So, what did I feel like today? I did not confirm all of my appointments for tomorrow. That's what I fell at, and
Mhm,
it was just a back-to-back date with me. I got home before I'm doing the show right now. It was 30 minutes before the show I got home. So the day was back to back. So I didn't get a chance to confirm all my appointments tomorrow. I think I have a 5 or 6 appointment lined up for tomorrow, and
mhm.
thankfully, all of them are coming to my office.
Oh,
So
that's
which
good.
is pretty
It's always
cool.
good.
It's always good. And pretty much, how can I get better at this, and what could I have done to prevent this? Is to perhaps set a time where for the day I'm calling for my next appointment tomorrow to confirm. Even though I do have that time, though, I kind of look over it, past it because I was so busy today. Which is always be good. It's always good to be busy. So
Mhm.
that's what that's what could have been better, to actually confirm my appointments for tomorrow. So definitely when I get to the office tomorrow, I'll be confirming, at least the afternoon appointments, you
Yeah,
know. So, and I'm gonna revert the question to you, man. But what did you feel at today, and how could it be better? Because I
oh
know,
man,
as agents, like I said, man, we regular people. So it's like,
for
if
sure.
somebody talking to you about life insurance all the time and telling you it's like always green and it's always great. Nah, we hear very, very vulnerable coming to you to tell you the real deal, and that's what I
Yeah,
do full time,
for sure.
So anyway, what did you feel in today, brother?
Hmm. Man, I felt as a life insurance agent, and I felt personally. Uh,
That's
I've
real. Talk to us.
so I got to go back a little bit. So I've been fighting. I don't know if it's like Capricorn trait or whatever. I just procrastination, man. Like, but I've been getting better now. I've been planning my weeks out on Sunday. So I try to keep my Sunday to preparation. Like that's like deep cleaning Sundays, preparation for the week. And so I can go into the week with a smooth groove. Like today, I felt personally it didn't work out yet. So I mean, I did yesterday, but I didn't do it yet today, which I should have done. But I'm trying to get a lot of things done before I head out to Atlanta tomorrow. But as a life insurance agent, I failed to make the phone calls that I needed to make. It's Monday, and I didn't make my phone calls today and set those up for the week. Like I got one set up, but I didn't make the other three that I needed to set up that are automatic appointments. I haven't made them, and that's where the procrastination now is like, okay, I can't do it tomorrow because I'm going out. I'm traveling, and then when I'm traveling back home on Wednesday, by the time I have some more free time, it's Thursday. Then what if those people aren't available on Friday? So now we're waiting another week, and this is the results of procrastination. Like you're down another week. You don't know what could happen in that person's life. You don't know what could happen in your life between
Sure.
now and next week. And that all comes from me not doing what I needed to do today and managing my time a little bit better. And how I could have made that better was I should have picked out I put it on my to-do list,
Mhm.
but from there that's not enough. Having a to-do list is not enough. You need to organize your to-do list like, okay, from this block or this time I'm free, you need to be doing these things. So in this free space of time that I had here, this hour right here that I did have, I could have been like, all right, let's knock out these three appointments. Let's get them done right then and there. Now that would have been if two people called and confirmed, that's two people. If one person called and confirmed, that's one person. But at least I know I got that out there. And now I could try again, either like the next day or Thursday when I get back. And instead of it being next week, now we're looking at possibly next week for me even, getting to these people or getting back in touch with them.
Mhm.
So that was where I could have been I failed and could have did better as an agent, man.
Man, hey, it's all good, man. Yeah, one day can sacrifice a whole week.
Yeah, bad. It's
So,
bad.
so that's that's
It's,
that's part of it. That's definitely part of it. And if you have any
yeah,
questions for us, feel free to put it in a box.
yeah,
We more than happy to answer you. But yeah, man, let's keep this going.
for sure, for sure. So James, bro, I know being an entrepreneur sometimes you can be it's hard to have balance. You either here it's like black and white. You got to go hard. It's hard to be like one foot in, one foot out. You got to be all in, all in, all in, all in. So how do you keep balance between business, business life and your personal life? And I know for sure you're an all in type of person. So how do you create that balance? Because you have a family. I don't have like kids and a wife and kids or anything, but you do. So how do you do that? Because I know there's people out here who are listening to this who do have families. Like, how do you find a way to manage that better and keep that balance between and keeping everybody over there happy and keeping your business
Mhm.
flowing and running as well?
Well, to tell you the truth, man, my business is my personal life. Nah, I'm just playing. But that's what it
Yeah,
feels like.
for real though.
What when you run a business, you for yourself, and you're building something special. So as for me, how I balance that, and think I have a spouse that understand the journey of entrepreneurship. And I think Julian is very, very valuable, to have a spouse or a partner who's very in tune with the accomplishment that we are trying to, I'm trying to accomplish. So
Mhm.
the balance really, to me, and that's the most honest answer, balance to me is just the foundation of understanding with the family and my business.
Yeah.
So, for example, I wake up. If I'm at the office, most of the time my wife will text me, "Hey, do you have time to chat?" And then if sometimes she'll call me, I say, "Hey, I'm in a meeting. Is it important?" She said, "No, it's okay. Call me back." And if it's important, she'll say, "Yeah, it's important," and I'll step out, away from the client and excuse myself. So because of that flexibility of me always being in touch with my family, my wife, my kids, the balance become, and it's really intertwined with what I do on a daily basis. So to me, as I'm talking to you right now, there is no full separation of the work balance
Mhm.
and the family balance. It's really they work hands in hands, and they complement there. That's the beautiful thing about it. And I've seen people, I talk to a lot of people, and I witness people who actually is in the industry and sometimes other industry, just being an entrepreneur as a whole. And because the spouse or the partner doesn't fully understand that journey, they end up have to pick, hey, I need to stay in this relationship, or I need to pick within my business,
Right. Right.
And I'm very fortunate enough so far. God has blessed me with a wonderful wife, a wonderful spouse who understand the journey, that helped
Mm.
me stay sane. Because as an entrepreneur, it's always like up and go, go, go. And sometimes my wife will help me rationalize stuff to a point where we'll really, we go over stuff together, and we kind of make the best decision for the family.
Mm.
So me, the foundation of the balance is really in the hands of your partner, of my partner, my wife. The understanding she has for the business, and the understanding she have of where I am working to take the family. Because at the end of the day, I'm not working. I'm not working hard right now to still be working when I'm 40 or 50. I'm 33 right now. So what we are working on, she understands, is bigger than us. It's a legacy.
Mhm.
It's we pass away, we have our names and buildings. When our kids are starting to get older, they see how mom and dad work so hard, and they have no choice but to, like, the if you're watching the me live, you see work like hell. So they'll have no choice but to work like hell, simply because we set up that, that foundation. So
Mhm.
I hope I answered the question well, because the balance is just like my wife being understanding of that. Hey, sometime I'm gonna be out till like 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sometime Julian, um, when we used to be in the old office, it'll be 1 in the morning. We're still
Yeah.
in the office, just
Seriously.
strategizing, planning, and it's crazy. But anyway, that's where I'm at with the balance, and with the work life and the family life. You know.
Mm.
So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Same question right back at you, man. How do you manage that? How do you balance and family? I know you say you don't have a wife, you don't have kids right now, but however, you still have a family. You still have, your loved ones with you, and you still have to actually go
Mhm.
about your business. And I know you you this guy, you're very purpose driven. So how do you balance that yourself?
Man, it's a good question. Um, Honestly, to be honest, I didn't have balance before. Like when I went away, and I lost everything. Like I moved across the country. I lost everything I had. I'm talking every material. I came back with a bag. I went out with my car. I went out with everything. I came back with a bag, a backpack in a bag, and one pair of shoes. And so when I came back, I had to start from scratch with everything just messed up. Start from nothing. So during that period, I didn't have any balance. My thing was I was running, scrapping, scraping, trying to get away from. being so far at the bottom and being down here, to where I didn't have a work-life balance. Everything was work. I only could think about working. I couldn't even wake up. I couldn't chill, man. Like there was no chill point in my life. And I got into a relationship during those times too. And it started affecting that. Like I wasn't able to give that time that I needed to give while I was in my relationship to the relationship because of like, okay, I know that I need to be getting to it. I know I need to be grinding. I know I need income coming in. I need to create, kind of create these things. But as I was doing that, I was go, 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 go. It was damaging a lot of people around me, relationship, family, friends. And I had to realize and meeting you, coming to the office, meeting you, getting into PHP, where in that guide they gave us, they talked about having your spouse bring your spouse into it because of they understand that there really isn't no balance in this industry.
Yep.
It becomes your life because now you never know when you're going to leave the office. You never know when somebody is going to schedule an appointment. You may not get that appointment to 9 o'clock. That may be the only time that you can run that appointment. So that balance was created over time through, being in my relationship and realizing like, dang, I'm not honoring the person that I'm dating. I'm not spending time dating her. And that kind of implemented and permeated into my work life too, because now I couldn't give it all to all things at one time. And that's because I didn't have balance. I was either over here or over here. It's black and white. So what I started doing now to gain balance in my life was, again, I went to therapy. That was my first step. I had to go to therapy, get through some certain things. A lot of people think bad about therapy, but therapy is to strengthen your mind and get you past a certain level. And that kind of put a lot of things into perspective for me. And then I was able to, step over those humps. While I've been doing that, it's a consistent thing. You have to go, like, I was going twice a month. But from there, I'm just like, I had the will to get better. Like, okay, how can I get better? And that was podcasts all last year, listening to podcasts, and then realizing like everybody's saying the same thing, planning and creating, batch creating certain things and planning during the weekend. So I utilize my weekends to either I'll give myself a little bit of time, to a leisure time, spend with family, friends, or so. I try to make that on Saturdays. But Sunday, I am adamant. Like if I don't get my Sunday off, like my whole entire week will go wrong. It'll go left because Sunday I am planning my week. I'm chilling. I'm planning my week. We're cleaning. We're trying to declutter ourselves from the last week and see what we can do better this week and how we can go forward. Like I'm going down by every single day what I need to do, what I need to get done this week. And now that helps bring balance into my life. And I'm not scrapping, trying to go fix this, what I procrastinated, didn't do on this day, because now I'm planning out the week. Okay, I know I need to travel this week. So for instance, I used Sunday yesterday to plan my entire week. I knew we had the podcast. I got that ready. I knew we were doing 2 episodes this week. I got that ready. Boom. Okay. I wrote them out. I wrote everything we needed to do. Now I know I got to travel to Atlanta this week as well. So, all right. Well, I also know that I have meetings that I have to be on in the morning. So I was going to fly, but I'm like, I can't miss those meetings. So let me drive, have me and my friend drive, my boy Cliff. Like, let's just drive tonight, get there early in the morning. So now we both have time to get on our meetings and make our calls. So now it don't interrupt anything. Like, this is the grind, guys. Like, I'm gonna be traveling throughout the night just to get there to be on these meetings in the morning, because I know at the end of the day I have to be there. So I have to do what it takes. But I also have to be at another meeting at 7 o'clock in Atlanta, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. So I'm right at it. And then the next day on Wednesday, I know that I have to meet with 2 other people as well. So I called them, scheduled those appointments all before I had to get on my flight at 5 o'clock in Atlanta to come back home, be back home by like 7 o'clock on Wednesday. So I had all that, everything booked everything planned out. Okay, this is what I'm wearing. This is what I'm doing. I did that all of that this weekend. So now when I'm in a week, all I'm doing is just operating. Things come up unexpectedly, but you got the basics down pat now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I've been running my weeks now, and that's how I've been able to create balance in my life, in my work life. Actually, people say there's no work-life balance. Really, your life has to be your work has to be committed within your life. Like James said, they have to be intertwined. So
Mm.
as I'm doing this, I'm ain't gonna be really no sleep tonight. And I know that I'm probably not gonna be able to sleep until Thursday night or Wednesday night, maybe. And that's just the life that we choose to live, like we're grinding, and it's not all of the glitz and glamour that comes later on, but right now you have to put in the work. You got to do what other people wouldn't do, what the normal and average people wouldn't do. But all of that comes through planning, preparation, and creating that balance, man. I'm so big on that now, and spending time with loved ones and family, because all of this stuff, man, it could be gone in a heartbeat. And that's pretty much how I create that balance, man, and between my personal life and business, is that preparation.
That's what's up, man. It's so big. Preparation is key because the whole thing about being an entrepreneur is that holy nobody telling me what I need to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's, oh shoot, I gotta figure this thing out. Because if you don't do anything, nothing nothing really happened. So it can be a blessing to have your freedom, and also could be a curse if you don't have structure and an end to your life.
Right. Absolutely. Definitely occurs. And
Mhm.
so would you say that would you want more balance in your life, or do you feel like it's working out now, or do you think that it could be better?
Well, I mean, there's always room for improvement. And I really like this question. There's always room for improvement. However, right now, this is it. Like I said, God blessed me with a spouse who understands the journey. But this is how I see it. I'm on my prime. I'm 33 years old. It's time to grind.
Right,
Like,
right.
hey, listen, hey, you to wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, wake your butt up and grind. Because why? I'm in my prime. I'm in my 30s. And I get in my 40s and my 50s. Now I can be like, you know what? I worked so hard for that balance. Now I deserve it.
Mm,
Because this is how I feel. That's why I feel right now. I'm in the process of making myself to become a multimillionaire. This is the whole goal. So we can actually really help more people than just a few people. Okay. So that take a lot of sacrifices from today. So today I have to keep the grind. I have to keep it moving. So as we're talking right now, yes, there's room for improvement when it comes to balance, but right now I know if I was to balance more, well, let's just say, I have to be home by 6 to
mm-hmm.
eat dinner with my family. And I have to every single holiday I have to take it off. Like, if we're talking about that type of balance, you can't win in life with this type of balance. Because sometimes your day start at 6. you
Right.
know, sometimes you gotta go to bed at 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Sometimes I go
Right.
to sleep depending the outcome I'm looking for the week or for the month.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe right now, balance, how I'm doing things now, I believe it's working. And I don't want per se more balance, at least not now.
Mm-hmm.
However, when things are moving in the direction where I wanted to, when I have 300 employees working, I have an
Yeah.
efficient system working, then you could be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you know what? Boom. Then you can go ahead
Yeah,
and
exactly.
holiday off and so on. But
Yeah.
to answer your question, I what I have right now is actually working
Right.
so far. My wife and I, we're in a good page. It's working for us. We don't stress. There's hardly any argument because we actually in tune. So I think what we have going on right now is working, really good for us. You know.
For sure.
But anyway, man, what about you? What about you? Would you want more balance in life, or what you have is actually working for you?
Well, what I'm doing now is working, man. So I mean, more. Only thing more I'll need is just just to become a better planner, a better you know strategy really. But balance wise, I feel like I got it down pat now.
Cool.
Um, and when I like you said, when it's time to turn it up, man, you got to turn it up and go. Like sometimes and I look at balance as a season too. I saw somebody talk about this, man. There's seasons for balance and seasons for you're not going to be balanced. You're going to be all in. So for instance, when we were doing PHP and what are those things called? Those challenges that came up like a 4-4-4. You had to get 4 things, 4 here, 4 that. That was like a season for a month. You had to do these things, or by they split it up. It's actually 15 days you had to complete this task. So between those 14 and 15 days, there's no balance. Like you're all in. You're doing whatever you can to complete those tasks. And I look at that as like it's the same thing when it comes towards your goals. Like everybody wants this perfect work-life balance thing, but I look at my work-life balance as a really preparing to get to the grind. Really, that's all it is, and making it more efficient than it was before. So you're not overdoing yourself, because at the end of the day, you only have one body. You got to take care of it. So how you can do it is plan better. There's no perfect work-life balance. Everybody wants that perfect thing. There's no such thing. If you want to become the best at whatever, you're not going to be able to balance certain things. You're going to have to go all in. Like look at Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant wasn't talking about balance. He was he while everybody's at the club, he was shooting shots. He was practicing. He was getting treatment. He was doing the extra that other people wouldn't do, because those people wanted balance. They wanted to have fun. It's all about the person at the end of the day. What does that person want for themselves, who they are, and things of that such, man. It really doesn't, it just boils down to the person, as what I think when it comes to that balance. So I wouldn't say I want any more as of now. Of course things could get better, but more balance, nah.
Hey, I'm with you.
Yeah. And then so when it comes to like I know you go hard because you do have a family, you have a wife, you have kids and everything. But other than family, why do you go so hard, James, and what you do? Like what motivates you, strive and drives you every day? And what's that fire behind you? What is it? Let the people know.
Oof, the fire behind me, man. It's a few things. It's a couple things, and I think that's a really great question. Um, to me, it's the name and the building. You imagine you're driving downtown and you see a big building says, Bank of America. You
Hmm.
know, I want that Denazir last name in one of those buildings,
Mm,
at least one on each state. You know, so
yeah.
when you just mentioned Kobe Bryant right now, the moment you said Kobe Bryant, I'm pretty sure 90% of the world know who Kobe Bryant is, unless you're in a third world country, you don't have access to resources for
Right.
but you know who Kobe Bryant is. When somebody say Michael Jordan, you know
Hmm.
who Jordan is. Somebody say Steve Jobs, Bezos, Elon Musk, you already know who these people are. So why grind is so one day, and I don't remember where I get that from. If imagine you're holding two jerseys and you have one of Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, and you have one with your last name on there. Which one
Hmm.
with which one of these jerseys would your kid pick?
Mm.
Would you child pick your last name, the jersey with your last name, or would they pick Michael Jordan?
Oh, that's spicy.
I know, like crazy. I think of this stuff.
Oh, I do too.
Think of
Oh,
this stuff. Like I'm
oh,
like my son. One day he'll be 16 years old. He basketball or football, and here's daddy's jersey,
yeah,
and here's Peyton Manning, and here's Kobe Bryant, here is Michael
right,
Jordan. Which jersey you take? Are you gonna take Jordan or are you gonna take Dennis here?
right.
And I wanted him. and I want my daughter as well, big Dennis year, and I want them to do that with pride. And I don't want them to do it just because, hey man, he's dad, we're gonna support dad. No, I want them to do it because it means something.
Yeah.
And one thing before I go, before I close that,
Hmm.
um, last week, I think 2 weeks ago, my daughter is working. I forget what she was working on, and she came to me kind of like, "Daddy, I can't do it with blah blah blah." She's
Hmm.
5 years old. I said, "Yes, you can. Go try harder. Go." And then she left with her head down, and then about like 10, 15 minutes later, she came. She said, "Daddy, I did it." I said, "There you go. Congratulations." And you know what she told me? And I
What's
keep
that?
telling her that over and over for the past couple years, and she never repeated. She literally told me, "Yeah, daddy, I did it. I did." I said, "Give me a high five. That's what I'm talking about, baby." And she said, "Hey, daddy." I said, "What?" She said, "Dennis years never quit."
Mm,
She's 5 years old. You know how my heart melt, bro.
I already know.
My heart melts because my daughter said Dennis years never quit.
Mm,
And I want her to grow with this mindset. I want her to grow, see daddy as his hero. I mean, her
yeah,
hero. And I
yeah,
want
for
my son
sure.
to see the same as well. Because when you look at my
Hmm.
back wall, I don't pick these people by accident. You're looking at Bob Marley, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Einstein, Elon Musk. This is because these are all winners. These are people who's making a dent in the universe. So what I grind beside my family is really, man, for the legacy, for my name to be known forever, so I
Right.
never die. Because I can be in a casket tomorrow, but as long as I did something meaningful and my last name means something, I will forever be in history, like any of those guys I just mentioned. So,
Hmm.
it's a little bit more, it's a very passionate to me, bro. And I take it to the heart. So I go in and out, man, and really, you know, be the best I can be. And I'm gonna revert
Sure.
that question right back at you, brother. Besides
This
family,
is
man,
true.
why do you grind so hard? Because I remember one day, and you didn't know I tell that story, but I'm gonna tell that story, right? Let me tell you how hard this guy grind. I
Who
remember
that? Oh, I mean, which one?
you.
Which one? Which story?
remember when you took your bed off your room?
Oh yeah, yo, that's
Comfortable.
crazy. It's so crazy. I was just talking to Godfrey about that because I was going through my photos and like I was looking at the pictures when of that moment and I had two big whiteboards in my room and both of them was full of action plans. Like I was, I really took the bed out my room and I do type of crazy stuff like that to get myself uncomfortable to try to hit a goal is sometimes insane and not necessary, but I know me and I know that I would procrastinate and not do it. So I had to like literally put literally a fire up under me myself. And like James said, I took my bed out. I took everything out that could make me lazy out of my room and I slept on the floor
I
while
thought
we were
that
doing this run. It wasn't comfortable at all, but really, man, honestly, what drives me is I think I would say losing everything at one point, just realizing like, dang, I don't have anything but me at the end of the day. Like I know for sure that I got me and my body, so I need to take care of that for sure. Like I was at a point where I had nothing, so materialistic things. From that point, I knew that okay, materialism, it doesn't mean anything. So I've always had wanted to build a legacy. So I knew, like James said, when it comes to that name, that last name, that legacy, I'm changing my names and rebranding, recreating myself. That's just where my beliefs and everything are going towards, and I want that name to live on forever. And like James said, like when it comes to children, and when I do have kids one day, I don't want my kids to be looking out outside for influences. You know, when there's conflict in the house and they start seeing flaws and things like that, kids look the other way. And they're like, okay, well, if mommy's saying this and daddy's saying that, like, no, that ain't gonna work. And they you lose their influence. And once you lose your child's influence, that's when they're picking LeBron James jersey over your last name jersey. And you always want to be in an influential, state over, more influential for your children. And if you're not influential, more influential than the outside world, outside forces to your children, you will lose their respect, especially now. Like, these kids see so much, they go through so much just from technology alone. So me, I'm grinding for that day when I do create my family, that I have those things in order. Like, I'm working on to become a better me. It's not about just the money, because you can have money and still, you be getting a divorce. Look at the richest people in the world have divorces and all of that, because it's not just about money. There's a self-development part of this. There's, like I always say, the three dimensions of wealth. Like, there's knowledge. Your knowledge, your mind is an asset. Most people think of assets, they think of outside tangible things, but really the biggest asset is here. So if you can sharpen your mind, if you could become a better you could become a better planner. You got to stay relevant, man. If you don't stay relevant, you lose the love and influence from your children. You can lose it from your spouse or whoever. Like, as a man, you have to constantly be evolving, and that's where I put myself at every single day. I know that I need to evolve and become better than I was yesterday or last week or last year. Like, I'm always constantly evolving, and that's how I keep myself going. That's how I keep myself, in that state of mind where I can actually, become that better me. I just keep it like that, man. I just always battle myself. Okay, how I could get better. I try to look in the mirror, and I know a lot of people look at the next man or this person over here. They doing that, but at the end of the day, you don't know what that person's been through to get what they have. Like, they probably battled so many different things. So, um, I'll say, really, that's really why I go hard, man. Like, for that legacy one day. I'm excited to build that, and I want to make sure that I can do as much as I can as early as possible, so I could just walk into all of those things, and be influential over my kids, always growing and being that person that I need to be, and how I could help other people too. So that's a little bit why I go hard, bro. Like, really, that's really why. Honestly, other than my family, like, it has to be inside of you. You have to have motives, and also, oh yeah, my community. Not many of us are doing this, so that drives me every day too, to hurry up and get this stuff out to you guys, get this information to you, and just to move forward. It's coming up on the hour here, but
Oh yeah, man.
another question that we did want to do, it is a good conversation. There's people on here, so that's good. Um, So, James, to get a little bit more in depth here, man, this one is going to be a good question though. So, when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, life insurance, business, and things, does that ever interfere with, your dating life and your marriage with you and your wife, and being able to still date your wife while you're married and stuff? Like, because when you come back to me with this question, I know I got some stuff, but what about you? Does it ever interfere with your how does it interfere with your relationship with your wife?
Uh, um, at first, and which is really a very deep question, man. And sometimes you have to be vulnerable to stuff. I don't know why you came up with this question, man. That's crazy. But anyway, if you're watching us live, just make sure you ask question. If you have any question, make sure you share this live, and make sure you follow us on all the platform that we have available.
Mhm.
Also follow up on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. So this is such a beautiful question. So at first, it used to interfere with my personal life. You know, this question can go so many ways, and I'm gonna do the best I can to stay on track. My wife hated reading,
Mm-hmm.
and now she actually started reading because of my journey.
Mm.
So if you hear and your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend is here, and when it comes to the business perspective, if you're not seeing my hand because you're listening, I have my left hand up and my right hand down, kind of like measuring. If your spouse or your partner is not growing with you,
Mm-hmm.
then it can be very, very bad for the relationship or the marriage. When I really first going deep into entrepreneurship, uh, I did have some speed bump in my personal life because even though I tried to explain to my wife exactly what I was trying to do, um, she wouldn't really fully see the picture. She always tell me, babe, I believe in you, and I'm going to support you no matter what. When you have a woman that tell you that, man, that's golden.
Yeah.
However, though, that does not take away the challenges we went. Okay, so yeah, to answer the question in a very vulnerable way. At first, sometime it was an issue for my personal life to actually date my wife as we but now it's really none of that at all. So we grow through that because you have to understand, I've been licensed since 15 and I've been going full time since early 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in 2022 and I've been since 2013. So she see the growth, and
Mm-hmm.
God, she understand the growth, and
Right. Right.
she's right here with me, and I can never thank her enough. And one thing
That's
I
good.
believe that helped me as well, and the ladies who's listening to this might be a little mad at me. You can put in a comment below, and I hope my wife is fully on board with it because you never fully understand women 100%. But hey, love her to death.
Yeah.
Before I get into my marriage, Julian, I see a comment just come in. Jay, you guys are awesome. Oh, thank you so much, Jay, so much, because it takes a lot for me to say this. Uh, anyway, one thing I was very clear with my spouse, and I feel like as a man, you should have enough cojones to be real with your wife.
Yeah, for sure.
It's got
No, for real.
cojones. I told my wife when it comes to all these make believe holidays, I'm not with it. Like for
Mm.
today is
Ooh.
Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.
Today is Valentine's Day.
And that's
Everybody,
why I asked you that question.
yeah. Julian asked you, hey, Julian told me, hey, you sure you want to have the show on Valentine's Day? Because I know I'm like, bro, it's another day to me.
Mm.
I had to make sure my wife understand that because it's a very touchy, feely subject for a woman.
Yeah, for sure.
So to me, once you have your priority, you have to understand that you are born into a culture, you're born into a society, and actually, whatever the society is doing, that's what you're gonna do, whether it's culture, religion, or whatever. So to me, Valentine's Day at the end of the day is a day discounts, and business owners make a lot of money because they work on your emotions and yada yada yada. And
Mm-hmm.
first, it was a tough conversation to have with my wife, and still deep down as a woman, I don't know if she fully agree.
Right.
It was
All
clear.
right. Yeah, for sure.
It was clear,
Yeah.
at the beginning of my marriage of what I believe, because I'm not a puppet. I'm not gonna have a market influence me to show you how much I love you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I said to her. I'm like, Valentine's Days is one day. What happened to the 364 days? I've been devoted to you 100%. They're not special all of a sudden because of one day. It's crazy to me. But anyway, to come back to your question, I was very clear, with my wife. Even before we get into marriage, I had some tough conversation with her, just so she can understand what she's getting to. Now, I believe she truly loved me. She respect me as a woman. And I truly love her. I respect her as a woman. She respect me as her man. When it comes to the work life, stop me sometime from dating her. Never, because she's still my baby. And even though I'm not a perfect guy, and I do the best I can to get as possible, but and being in a very vulnerable way, I fail a lot. We all fail in our relationship and our marriages, and because it's just two new person getting into on the understanding with each other. That's why sometimes you see people being married for 5 years, 30 years, and they just decide to get a divorce. So me personally, I do all I can to continue to date my wife, for since she's special to me, that I love her and she loved me too. And I always tell her, and I'm gonna make this clear. Just because I love you so much and you love me so much, I'm not ignorant to believe that we're gonna last forever.
Mhm.
I hope we last forever. And I said that before we even get married. I hope we last forever. But if a pastor can get divorced after 25, 30 years of marriage, who am I not to? Who are you?
Right.
So let's not be ignorant and let love make us blind. Like, love is the only thing. If the bills cannot get paid, love cannot pay the bills. That makes
Mm-mm.
sense. So
Yeah, for
anyway,
sure.
I still date my wife, and what I do with work still permit me to make her feel special, and I
Mhm.
do the best I can to never miss a beat, and I do the
Wow.
best I can to always let her know, hey, I'm gonna stand my ground, but that doesn't mean not gonna be romantic. Still dating her until today after 9 years of marriage.
Mm.
Anyway,
Man, man.
that's us right now. Right back at you, man. And I know it's been a little
Uh,
bit of an hour. I'm gonna we're
yeah, we're gonna wrap up soon. We're gonna wrap
gonna
up
wrap
soon.
it, but yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
right back at you, man.
Oh man, that was a that was some open honesty there, brother.
I'm an open book, bro.
That wow. Um, for me, I like I was saying, like I was in a moment of not where I didn't have I was in a season of no balance. Like I had no balance. So trying to date and build at the same time for me, where I had to kind of take a step back and focus focus on personal growth more than anything, because you can't go run a business if you're not together personally, whether that's mentally, financially, anything, spiritually, however you want to look at it. If you're not whole yourself, it's going to be hard for you to really go and date somebody else and run a business at the same time. You're not going to give your all to you can't give your all to both.
Hmm.
So me, it did interfere with my dating life as I was dating, and it was but that was because I skipped over a few steps of certain things, like of personal steps, and where I should have done necessary things personally, where I wouldn't have ran into these situations. So it was like failures on my end. And that's why it would, I would say that it interfered with when it came to my dating. Like I would always put this over, and when it come to business or, grinding, I put it over the person that I was dating. And that kind of, it's a selfish thing when you really look at it. You know what I'm saying? So for you to really even find a way to balance that, bro, I really admire that. I respect that for sure, because it's not easy at all. And when it comes to women, you have to keep you gotta keep you just can't, like, okay, keep pushing off date night. You can't keep doing those things. You have to, like you said, you still date your wife. You have to still do those things, like when you're in a relationship. So that kind of allowed business to overtake me, and that's where I knew I needed to create balance and create systems for my life to operate in, so I'm able to, overcompensate for those areas where I know I can't really be both places at once. So let's prepare as much as we can on the weekend. So now that I know, like, okay, going forward, I have my systems in place, I have my mindset in place, everything is sharp. So now I can just, the person that can insert themselves into my system and it works. It's like that. It worked like clockwork. It ain't no no friction or anything like that. And that's what I failed to do before. So now I am focusing on creating those systems so I can operate my business and keep my personal dating life, at a balance where I can kind of implement both of them.
100%. It's not easy,
For
and
sure.
we all hit speed bumps, and
Yeah.
it's not always pretty. And however, as long the spouse or your partner can basic understanding of the journey, it's very, very important, very, very important. you know
Hmm.
I was watching something, and before, I don't want to get all out of subject. I forgot who. It was a very successful guy who was saying a story about this college kid who was in his dorm. He created something. You probably heard that story too. He created some type of technology for mutual funds, something really, really fancy, right? Right in his dorm at college. And because he was so devoted to that, uh, his girl had actually asked him a question. He said, "Hey, it's either me or the business you're doing, whatever you're doing, right?"
Yeah. It's
And
usually
the
how it goes.
he was a seminar, and he asked, I don't know who he was. He was a really high figure in our society right now. But anyway, he asked the question, say, "Hey, this is who I am. This is what I created, and this is the question my girlfriend just asked me. What would you do in this situation?" And really, as tough as that is, you mentioned something earlier, Joe. I don't wanna skip over it. You say a lot of time you have to know yourself before you can actually get to know somebody, especially getting in business, right?
Hmm.
So the answer was, I don't fully remember, my guys. Just had a quick brain fart, but pretty much the answer was, which one can be replaceable? That was crazy. It was crazy. And literally, the guy said, with what you have gone, you have an opportunity. It's either she's on board or it's a tough situation. Tough situation. It's a tough situation
It's
because,
extremely tough.
yeah, man, like it's like you don't want, like, as a man, I know we all have egos. Every human being has egos, but as
Hmm.
a man, it's really tough to have to choose between what you feel like you was born to do and to choose between somebody you really love. It's crazy. And I don't make that decision for anybody, nor do influence anybody. But coming from somebody who's very successful, and our question was, well, which one is replaceable? But anyway, I if I find that, I'll put it under the live.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
stuff stuff as guys, as entrepreneurs who have a vision, who have a goal,
Hmm.
who live life with purpose. A lot of time we have to make some tough decision, and it's not always the pretty decision we have to make. But
Right.
anyway, I'm vulnerable today and really speak my mind, because this is the show, and I think we should go to, like, I think I mean, it's up to you, man. And if you want to keep going through all the other question, or
Nah, we're gonna cut it like after this last question. We're gonna cut it for sure. Just to kind of give a good perspective here. Um, that one was deep for sure. But going forward, um, every day is not the same. I look at it as like a roller coaster. Life. You have your ups and the downs. Things go left and right, but you have to be grounded yourself. So do you ever wake up feeling always motivated and ready to go? Are you always happy and excited every single day, or are there some days where you're not? And how do you like overcome those down days when you do have them, if you do have them?
oh man, for sure. Sometimes you don't want to get out of bed. you know. So no, it's not always a motivation. Like, you feel motivated every day. At least for me personally,
Mhm.
Um, so sometimes you do a little bit like, yeah, man, I don't really want to do anything today, and I guess the challenge is not to give in, it's not to give in to that feeling, not to give in to the emotion, because the moment you start putting physical action, 99% of the time, all these thoughts go away, all these feelings go away. I was watching this late, the 5 second rule, and whenever I feel unmotivated to even get out of bed, that's what I do. So apparently, your brain has the way our brain is wired. Uh, uh, there is something significant that happened when we count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so a lot of time when I feel like, oh man, I just went to bed at 2 in the morning, and it's 6:30. I happen. I have an appointment at 8:30. I have an appointment at 9. I use this method, and it works. She literally said, when you're in your bed, just count from 5. Once you get to 1, just put your foot on the floor and walk to the brush your teeth, pretty much. So when the alarm clock goes off, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I put my foot on the floor and head to the bathroom with no questions asked.
Hmm.
By the time you get to the bathroom, you're brushing your teeth and you're getting ready for the day. That whole mindset of don't want to wake up is already gone because you back yourself to bed. You
Right.
know? So yeah, sometimes I feel like, hey, I'm unmotivated. I don't want to do anything. But at the end of the day, it's like, hey, me, I have a family. I have a family to take care of. Just a side note, you want to know the best part of my day every day? And I told my wife that. And babe, I love you, but this
What's
is
that?
the best part of my day. When I open my and I park and I open the door to go inside my house, I hear my kids say, Daddy is here.
Hmm.
To me, give me a hug and kiss me. That's my favorite part of the day.
Hmm.
So I always feel good when I leave the house because I know 9 out of 10 times I'm gonna come back to that. Unless it's past 9 o'clock, they're in bed. But anyway, that's me. That's one of the things that keep me motivated is my kids.
Hmm.
In the face, how they happy when I come home. And when I come home and I had a great day, it's like it feels fulfilled.
Right.
I don't wake up every day motivated, but I find a way to motivate myself to get out there because at the end of the day, it's all up to me. If I don't do it and nobody out there that's watching or listening gonna come to my house and do it for me. So I gotta get it done. You-
Right.
So
For
anyway,
sure.
that's my answer to that, bro.
Mm.
And right, that's the last question. You
Yep.
know, do you always feel motivated yourself? And if not, when you're not motivated, what are some of the things you do to keep you motivated?
Right. And for sure. Like that's a good I gotta try that that method that you use. And yeah, get yourself out. Because I know sometimes like I'll get in that mode and not even want. And if I oversleep or if I'm up or I'm sleep a little late, man, I always add that extra time. Oh, you better go to bed. You gotta go to bed a little later because you gotta stay up a little longer now because you wanted to sleep more. And I try not to beat myself up about it, but you're gonna have to punish yourself some way. And that's how I punish myself is okay, well, you're gonna have to stay up doing this way, which is bad, comes from procrastination. I think waking up, not getting out of bed is procrastination. You procrastinating from life. You got stuff to do, but you rather lay in bed because it's easier to lay there. But really, you're just prolonging problems. So it's not really easier on you. It gets worse later on, but in the moment it's easy. You're taking the easy way out because in that moment, like, hey, I'd rather take it's like taking a play off in a game. Like, okay, I'd rather take this play off and I'll just make it up the next time. But tomorrow is another thing that was created by procrastinators. We'll do it tomorrow, or we'll wake up early tomorrow. But really, how do you know? If you stay with that mindset, you won't wake up early tomorrow. You'll keep saying tomorrow. So it's the best to tell yourself like get up now and do it now. So because you're not gonna always wake up motivated, you're not gonna always wake up in the mood to do stuff. But when you have those, those motives, when you have those things that are pushing you purpose, and those things that you're striving for, it's easier to wake up and be happy and ready to attack the day than
Mhm.
it is like if you're not living for anything, it's harder because it's like, okay, well, what do I have to look for today? Work? Like, okay, I gotta get up. It's like a routine. It gets boring in those moments. But when you do have a reason why you're living, then you're looking at it a little bit different. And I think that's how when it comes to not always feeling motivated, you have to have those things like that purpose, that reasoning, that those motives behind you, and those will direct you in the ways you want to go in life. And that's kind of how I stay, of course, with mine. Like if I'm not feeling motivated this day, well, I know if I'm not, and my therapist told me that, like, yo, if your body wakes up at a early time, if it's 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning and it wakes up, get up and stay up because it's telling you something. So listen to your body. If your body's waking you up, get out of bed. If
Mhm.
you don't get out of bed, then you're gonna stay there. You're gonna go back to sleep and feel even more sleepier and tired when you do wake up the next time.
Mhm.
And I've done that before, and I'm always more tired after I go back to sleep. And that's your body. It's because you're not listening and following your body, what your body's telling you.
Mhm.
So those are ways that I've gotten over that hump of not always feeling motivated, not always feeling like doing it that day. So that's pretty much on my end, and that concludes all of our questions for tonight, guys. I know we ran over time. We had a little bit of technical issues, but we got through it. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's podcast. It was open, vulnerable moment because it is Valentine's Day. We know I wanted to do that because James, I know James, that's the first thing, like he said, I asked him, like, yo, we could take the day off, man. It's Valentine's Day. I know you want to spend it with your wife. Like, no, what do you mean take the day off? No, we're good to go, bro. Like, oh, all right, bet.
Man, let's work.
Because we're gonna do an interview tonight, but like the person we're gonna interview, they rather do it another day. I know it's Valentine's Day, so I was like, James, but James like, hey, let's do one. So we brought you guys some open, you know, give you some vulnerability between us as men here and what we experience in our lives and how we overcome things. And we really do hope y'all enjoyed it.
100%. The whole idea is for you to understand that we are regular people. We're running a business. We have families. We just choose excuses on what we do. So we hope this episode brought you some value to
Mm-hmm.
see that hey, it's not always the shiny, the money that's in the industry. No, it's like no, we regular folks.
Right.
We face challenge. At the end of the day, we say, you know what? No matter what, we're just gonna do the best we can to make it happen. Because at the end of the day, we work for ourselves, and if we don't do it, no one else gonna do it. So we just gotta
Mm-hmm.
keep on going. And like my brother always saying, keep on pushing.
Right. Keep on pushing.
Keep on
For
pushing.
sure,
That's
for
my
sure.
brother.
But yeah, so announcements, a few announcements before we do head out. Um, we are live again this week. We're interviewing health insurance. Someone come on and speak to you guys and break it down to you in a very simple way about health insurance. So if you're self-employed, entrepreneur, and you don't have that, because that is one thing, a part of your financial foundation is your health insurance plans. You don't have those. Most people have them with their employers, and she's going to teach you how to get it and make it affordable for you and not having to pay these high rates, and also giving you some wellness tips on ways you can eat healthier, and there's amazing things and how to grow your Instagram following. So it's going to be a good conversation with her this Thursday. And then also Saturday we will be, again, like I was mentioning, there are events. So there is Malcolm X Day of Service. Brother Godfrey is going to be there. I may stop by as well, but I will be here in Eatonville at the health fair. So we'll be spreading the agent and broker out there as well on Saturday from noon to 4. And then Malcolm X Day of Service is downtown in the Paramore area. And that is from noon to 2 o'clock. So Saturday is going to be another active day. And if you guys have any events, anybody that would be interested in, if they have any sponsorships that we can come and spread this knowledge and get the word out to our community, please let us know. And if you do have any questions, concerns about life insurance, you want to, get a policy or anything of that such, we do also, offer our plans and policies in our company as well. So if you go to our website, theagentandbroker.com, you can submit a lead form there and inquire, some plans, and we'll go through, we'll sit with you, see what you need, what's missing, and how we could fill the gaps in. So other than that, you have anything else, James, before we get off?
No, I mean, that's really much it. And that was a great conversation, very vulnerable. And
Absolutely.
the viewers listen to this show or watching the show, I hope you take great value of it. Any information, like Julian said, you go to the website and actually fill out the form, and we'll sit with you and answer any question you may have. Because life insurance is not just about dying as you listen to this episode. It's actually about staying alive. So we look forward to educate you and show you the value of life insurance, and really just go ahead and help you get your life to the next level, protecting yourself, protecting your family, invest into life insurance, where you have a secure retirement that is tax-free. All that can be done with life insurance. So go to the website, fill the form, and we look forward to helping you in a one-on-one session. But yeah, that's all I have to say, Julian.
All right. Perfect, man. So, all right, guys, we are out. Y'all have a good night.
Out.
Stay blessed. Productive week, and get to them goals, man. Make it happen this week.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, everybody.
All right.
The agent and the broker put you on the right path. And if it ain't adding up, then do the right math. And when you wanna come up, some might laugh. But them be the types to be the overnight staff. Always be a worker, we tryna be some owners. Sometimes might strike out, sometimes we hitting homers. But one thing's for sure, when the money gets uncovered, hit the agent and the broker. Say thank you to my brothers.